Hi, I'm Donna Norris, Soul Level Intuitive,
Hi, and I'm Bree Swanson, and I'm a small medium at large.
and we are back with another cool series of videos on psychic development stones. So if you're ready to build your intuitive abilities and hone your psychic skills, these crystals can help you, and you are in the right place. We're going to be breaking it down, just 5 per video. We're going to have 4 in the series, trying to stick with some of the easiest to find and the most versatile crystals for the most part. And we just want you to make sure that whenever you go to get them, that you make sure you buy from somebody online who's asked them questions, make sure that they're ethically sourced and that you're getting somebody, stones from somebody you can trust. There are people who actually do fake stones out there, and you want to make sure that you're getting what you think you're getting. Also, we're going to talk about which of the clair senses that the crystals work with, and sort of like with gourmet meals, some pair well with others, like, you know, wine and meat and that kind of thing. So we'll be talking about which ones work better with others as pairs. That's going to be fun too.
Yeah. And then we're also going to be talking about how they should be charged. Some of them, when they get wet, it's just not a good situation. They dissolve or they break down or they emit gas. So we're just gonna try to let you know, I guess too, which ones in this video should actually be, and I guess how they should be taken care of as well.
So
Yeah.
we'll go through all some safe ways to do it too. So, but just like with any kind of crystal energy, these stones are not like a magic bullet guaranteed to make you a psychic right off the bat. They're tools. They're really effective tools because everything on this planet operates at a frequency, and these stones are no different. They operate at different levels of frequency, and they work better with different kinds of energies within our bodies. So almost all psychics and mediums use crystals to enhance their abilities or and to complement their readings. So we just want to make sure that before you put it in your sacred space or before you use it, that you clean and clear it and offer it a blessing, imbue it with the intention you want to use it for, and go for it. So let's go ahead and get started.
Awesome. Yeah. And there's tons of ways to cleanse and clear it too. There's sound, there's light, there's the moonlight, there's
Yeah.
selenite. It's
We'll go over that with you too.
tons of stuff. Okay. So the first stone we have is clear quartz, which looks like this. Okay. So it actually goes ahead and works with all the chakras, and it helps with visualizing and manifesting your desires and the things that you want to bring to light in respects to your mediumship, psychic stuff, all that good stuff, but also in terms of goals and achievements. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. And things that you want to hone in into your practice as well.
Really good. And as for the clairs, this is a really good one for clairsentience, for clairvoyance, also clairaudience. It's one of the most versatile multi-purpose stones that there is out there. It goes with everything. It supercharges everything. And the cool thing about you can program, this is a double terminated quartz, which means it can both draw energy, receive energy and send energy. You can program it to do just about anything. And once you do, it's like a repeater stone. It will hold that intention and continue to work in the way that you program it until you cleanse it and charge it and imbue it for another purpose. So this is really powerful and really good to have in your toolbox.
Yeah.
Um, it stimulates the natural crystals in our body. And so it's really cool how it works to enliven us and enhance our intuitive abilities. So you can soak this one overnight in water. It's a super hard stone, so it's not going to hurt it to be wet. You can cover it with dry salt for a few hours. Some people bury them in the ground overnight or even for a few days. You can charge them in sunlight. I like to charge mine in moonlight, but you can also sage it with smoke and run water over it. You could pretty much use any kind of cleansing and clearing method for clear quartz. Yeah. And so next, let's go with amethyst. This is a faceted cut amethyst. You can see that it's translucent. It comes in varying shades of purple. It's life downtown, you guys. Gets ambulance sound effects and everything. That's a beautiful cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times it comes in clusters. This is an, they're inverted. Like you can see that cluster behind me in the corner is an inverted, concave, and then this one is convex cluster. Oh, that's a really pretty stone. You can even see them in what they call teeth, where it's just a point, like a stalactite point that's fallen out of a cave, and so it looks like a giant dinosaur tooth or something.
A dog-tooth amethyst, yeah.
Yeah. And it's really good for clairvoyance and claircognizance, which is like those downloads that you get from spirit or that you might get from your higher self or from a deceased loved one, that you just get a download of energy and you don't know how you know it, you just know. So it also works with your third eye and your crown chakra, and then the etheric chakras above the crown, above your head, and your energetic body. There are even more chakras. So I like my amethyst because it's really good for giving me, going into a reading, a sense of peace, a sense of calm. It's great around the house. I have it in every room of the house because it promotes serenity. It's, I know we're talking about for psychic uses, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful stone, and the energy purifies as it protects. So I love that it does that with all the sacred connections that I make. It triggers the pineal gland, which is like kind of like right in the middle of your brain. If you were to like look right in the middle of my head between these 2 points, that's where the pineal gland is, which activates third eye. And it helps you move into a higher state of consciousness. So it really helps with your visions in your mind's eye.
Yeah. Pairs well with a lot of stones too. It pairs with, moldavite or, black tourmaline or even, quartz.
Smoky quartz, citrine. Yeah.
It's really hard to go wrong with amethyst, and it really does a nice job at like strengthening,
Mhm.
like really sharpening the clairs too. Which I feel like it's really just a staple to have. If you're practicing this for psychic stuff and mediumship and all the spiritual stuff, which you probably are if you're watching this video. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's one of those that, like, even if you're slightly interested in crystals, like, get that one.
It's a staple. It's just everybody wants an amethyst, and it's so beautiful. And it's been used by royalty for, tens of thousands of years, going back to beyond the Egyptians. It's just been around a long time and used and thought highly of for a very long time. If you want to use it, some of its protective qualities, and you want to enhance the protective side of amethyst, obsidian and jet and black tourmaline and even pyrite, iron pyrite are good to work with alongside the amethyst for that.
Yes.
So really love that stone.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and go next to, you've got apophyllite, right?
Yes, and I believe we were also going to talk about the differences between like something like this, something like quartz versus apophyllite, which if you're looking and you're like, these are two white stones,
Yeah.
difference,
Yeah, they're different. They have different facets, a number of facets. A natural quartz point has 7 facets,
Mhm.
whereas an apophyllite has generally 5, sometimes 4.
Yeah.
Little ones on the end.
This is my lovely little piece of apophyllite.
That is a beautiful one.
Yeah, and sometimes they come in just like the little points. You can get them
Insane.
the little
Yeah.
points. But it really does a good job during meditation to just kind of like open things up for you. It's like it's kind of like that gentle hand that's like hanging out there, and that gentle reminder that like, oh my gosh, there's just so much that's coming and so much that's open and available to you. So it really does a good job at just remembering, like you're remembering all the possibilities and all the goodness and all of the enhanced spiritual connection that's to come, that love. Yeah.
It's primarily found in the white, kind of an opaque, clearish, kind of milky white, but it also comes in colors. And I don't know if you guys can see the colors in this, but this is actually a green apophyllite. It's a pale green. And this one is in a bed of little baby apophyllite cluster. And that pink stone you see is called stilbite, and that naturally occurs on natural apophyllite. But isn't that cool? But that the big chunks right there are the green. Anyway, I just love this. It's my new favorite. Um, and I got it at the shop where Bree works up in the Panhandle of Florida. One day I was passing through. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
But I use one outside because apophyllite works not only with the angelic realm and connecting us to the higher realms of consciousness for people and animals. It also works with nature spirits, and I have a fairy garden in the back. And I had a fairy garden in my house in Texas, and so I have this beautiful big apophyllite cluster that I keep outside for respect and to help me stay connected with the nature spirits in that realm. It's also really good, I think, as you already said, to keep it in your sacred space to help you open your crown chakra and get connected. It's also good for remote viewing. If you do any of that kind of work, as you develop your psychic skills, I know some of us get into psychic detective work, which involves remote viewing, and then also connecting with other beings like through ESP and whatnot. So I like it to connect with the guides, be they
Yeah.
nature guides or people guides, animal guides. They're all there, and they love apophyllite, and so do I.
Yeah.
It's got a high water content, so if you're going to be cleaning it, it's best to cleanse it with a dry method rather than a wet method because it can become brittle, break, or deteriorate over time if you get it wet and leave it wet. So and it will lose its luster too. So
Yeah. Oh, and I don't know if we mentioned with amethyst, I'm jumping back for just a second, but amethyst is generally pretty safe because it is in the quartz family.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
also a really hard, sturdy stone. You can get it, but amethyst is
But
okay.
yeah, with the apophyllite, you need to be a lot more careful. And
Right. We'll
yeah,
talk about some of the different ways at the end of the video real quick, that are safe, all-purpose ways that you can use for all your crystals. I just know that some people are really drawn to wanting to wash them, and that's fine if the stone is appropriate for it. So anyway, moving on. Somebody's got a new malachite stone that they want to show us.
new malachite.
Gold is green stone.
So this is my new baby. Got
Oh,
all
that's great. So malachite's a clairsentient stone.
the
Beautiful, beautiful. And it works with the solar plexus and the heart.
yeah. And then this is my older one, but I still love it just as much.
Yeah.
Doesn't really-
I'm like you. I've got a couple of little tumbles,
Yeah.
and I have a malachite pyramid, but it's over by the front door for prosperity and good luck.
And then I've also got no
Oh,
malachite.
that's very cool. Like that ring.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is beautiful to work with if you're providing, your spiritual services. It does a great job at just really, really, as you said, like feeling into the spirit, feeling into the energy, and knocking that down in a sense. Um,
Mhm.
and also it's not even just for, getting the feelings like channeling, it's also getting the feelings via the client and that connection, that relationship between you and the client. Because obviously without the client, it's hard to do any of this. So,
Yeah.
um, it works.
Sometimes, as much as clients want a reading or they want help, the signals they send can create psychic interference for us.
Mhm.
And malachite's really helpful with enabling us to tune in psychically without taking on their emotional baggage or their psychic interference. They're not doing it on purpose. It's
Yeah.
just the way the energy flows sometimes. But it's
Yeah.
really good at helping you to sense that it's coming and protect you from it.
Mhm.
Oh, it works really easily with turquoise. and I'm going to read my list because it works well with a lot of stuff. Azurite, which is a beautiful deep blue stone, chrysocolla, and tiger's eye. And this is a stone that draws toxins out of the out of people, and it pulls negative energy out of clients. It helps free spirit also if you have some attachments or some baggage going on. So because it pulls all that energy, it's recommended to clean it a lot. And so I even saw it in one of my books that said daily, which I didn't know, but anyway, so clean it and wash your hands anytime you've used it. It does have a residue that it can emit, and I guess because it pulls in toxins all the time, it may develop some of that. So anyway, just be careful when you're handling that. And again, I would use a dry method for cleaning that.
Mm-hmm. And then absolutely never breathe in malachite. Don't do
No
it.
mercury in it.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, want to be careful.
Yeah.
So okay, what's our next one?
Let's see. Think
Laura.
we have Petersite next.
Oh, Peterson. Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I have that in a ring.
Cool. I have my ring too.
Yeah, it's really pretty dark. It's got swirls of silver and brown, kind of a golden brown, but it's primarily, dark black, dark gray. That's really pretty. That one's got a lot of movement in it, Bree. It's pretty.
Gosh. I've seen ones that are like blue, but then they also have tints of like red and like gold. And
Yeah, content.
those really fun, like rustic colors with the blue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's beautiful to look at. It absolutely is.
Very swirly. It's
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah.
So it's good for clairvoyance and claircognizance. Again, claircognizance being the downloads, clairvoyance being the clear seeing. And Petersite also works with the solar plexus chakra right below your belly button and the third eye. So it ties your gut to your head.
Yeah. Yeah. I know we're talking about the spiritual aspect of it, but I know at least for me as I'm working with clients, I do know it as like the stone that is to calm the emotional storm. So I generally find like wearing it on me is a good helper with that, and having that, that connection with the clients too, and just kind of helping create the peace.
Yes. Well, and it's really good as it opens your third eye and gives you that ability to, to get more vivid visions with your mind's eye. It also helps you see it a little bit down a timeline. So sometimes you'll have people in a psychic reading that was going to want to know what's going to happen to me in the next however long. And this helps them with some future probabilities. So it helps you see a little bit that way too, as well as just visual imaging of the energy right now, if that makes sense. So Petersite also works really well with tiger's eye and hawk's eye, jet and citrine, moonstone and sunstone and labradorite. And you can put Petersite in water. It's another one of those heavy duty stones. If you want to wash it in water, it's cool. Let's see, what's next? Oh, the fluorite. Let's do the fluorite last but not.
Cool.
Mine's over here.
I've got a little fluorite bracelet.
Yeah, I've got green, the green fluorite wand. I'm also a Reiki master, and probably if you're following this channel, you know that. And I use this in healing as well as, some other tools, but that's a really pretty one. You can see the purple. The rainbow fluorite has purple, green, and white in it. Doesn't it also come in a pink?
I believe so. I think that one's more sought out. And fluorite also comes in blue and yellow as well.
Yeah. See, I've got this. It's not quite as well defined, but you can see all three colors in that chunk.
Yeah, and then this is fluorite.
It's a really soft energy. It works again with claircognizance, and it's a heart stone. It's a healer stone. It works with the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown.
Yeah.
Depending on the color. Yeah.
Yeah. It absolutely does a lot spiritually. I'm like, what should I say about it? There's so much to say about fluorite.
I know it's one of your favorites.
Yeah.
So
Um, yeah. It has those qualities that just makes things easy and easygoing, but it also kind of gently opens things up. And the
uplifting.
yeah, the way it does it, it's beautiful and balancing, and it gives this sense of like, you can do it. But it also gives you the wisdom and like the backstory behind things too.
Yeah. It also just sort of like clears your mind, and it helps you to see things really objectively, as opposed to any kind of preconceived notion that you might have going in, like maybe information received from your client. It helps you just kind of see the situation as it is rather than as they might hope or they might fear, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's really good for that. Let's see. I think, excuse me, puppy wants up. So it's really good for aligning the awareness between my mind and my heart. I like to for that purpose. And you can also use it for psychic work with iolite, which is a really pretty stone, and lapis and labradorite and all the colors of calcite. It's good for that. And
Mhm.
it's a softer stone, somewhat porous. I mean, you can't see the holes, but it's just a softer feeling stone. So it's one of those that I suggest you avoid water with.
Mhm.
What you can put these in dry sea salt and let them sit in a soak bed to be cleansed, and then you can put them on a selenite plate to charge up, or put them in moonlight. Moonlight is my favorite way to recharge my crystals. I'll just put them on windowsills or set them out on the porch and let them soak up the moonlight, preferably on a full moon or a new moon, depending on what I want to imbue the intention with for the next time I'm using it. Full moon, it helps you release the things that no longer serve. So this is a really good way to cleanse. And then for new moon, you're allowing and making room for receiving. So it's a good time to set your intention and imbue it again and recharge it. I don't know. Do you have a different way of cleaning yours, Bree?
I love using mine. I feel sound is really good for selenite, like sound cleansing, because it's so gentle. And I know at least with sound, it's kind of like, I don't know how to, it's funny. I'm like, I don't even know how to describe these things today. But sound works really beautifully and really powerfully. And it's like sound is like just enough, I feel like, for fluorite. Sometimes I'm using a piece, I'm really using it, and then I just need something really quick because I don't want it to be overused. Just a quick, little sound sesh. Definitely get the job done.
Yeah, a singing bowl, even a tuning fork. Yeah, that's good. Bells.
Yeah. And then a lot of my crystals, I do like the selenite bowls to charge them. Just stick them in there, leave them overnight, and it's good. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, um, lots of fun ways to charge them and do all the stuff with them.
So that's it for fluorite, and that's it for the stones in the first video. But as promised, I want to talk a little bit about different ways that you can cleanse and recharge your crystals. So when you're using any of these methods, you want to be sure you're setting the intention that they be cleaned and cleared. And then as you're charging them, reset your intention to imbue them with whatever properties, or just bless them and thank them and ask them to recharge to full potential. As you do things like wafting sage or Palo Santo smoke. A lot of times, if you'll go buy it in a good crystal shop, before they even put it in the bag, they'll sage it for you. I don't know if Stone Soup does that or not. I can't
Yeah,
remember, but I know they have some way of blessing the stones.
yeah, they have a little bag of like herbs that they stick it in, but before they do that, they actually like will take your crystal and they will clear it for you,
Right.
like energetically clear it, and then put it in the bag and
Exactly.
give it to you.
And I'm a firm believer in, like, you want to claim the stone when it's becoming your stone as yours. And so by doing that, you know, you're not really canceling the energy of all those that came before you, but you're making it yours by holding it and blessing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, as we've already talked about a little bit, singing bowls and tuning forks. There are certain hertzes of solfeggio frequencies that you can find music videos on YouTube that are really cool. 417 or that, which is the love hertz, 528 hertz. You know, these are really good that you can play your videos just and on YouTube and charge your crystals while they just sit there doing what they do. And you can also put them on charger plates. You know, like we've said, you can get like a slice of obsidian. I'm not obsidian, selenite. And it's a white crystal that we'll talk about in another video, but it's a really good all-purpose charger. Then you could also set them on a windowsill or outside or, you know, in the moonlight or the sunlight. You could put them in direct sunlight for a few hours. But I do want to caution you that if you've got a dark color stone, even amethyst can fade over time if you leave it in the sunlight 24/7. Leave it in a window and it will fade. So if you've got those rich colors, you want to avoid leaving them on going in direct sunlight. It'll just cause them to lose their luster. Still be effective, but it'll lose their luster. So also, a lot of times if you go to a jewelry store, they sell or maybe even on Amazon, other places, you can find those jewelry cleaning machines where they have the soapy water and the ultrasonic waves and it, you know, cleans the jewelry. Well, that's great for the metals, but it's not so often so great for the stones. And
No.
especially with these kinds of crystals and stones, stay away from the ultrasonic cleaning machines if you've got crystal jewelry. It's just not a good idea to clean your crystals that way.
Yeah. I think the only crystal too that you should probably clean it with is like the diamonds, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really diamonds and rubies and sapphires, the super hard ones.
Yeah, the hard
Even
scale.
not even really
On the,
sapphires, they're kind of softer.
if you're not sure too, I mean, you could always look at the Moss scale, but oftentimes if it's like below a 9, you probably shouldn't.
Shouldn't, yeah,
Yeah.
because there's chemicals in there and it really will degrade the stone. And also, Bree gave me a really good tip that if the stone ends in ite, if it ends in ITE, avoid cleansing it with water. That means
Yeah.
on the hardness
Or
scale, you know,
yeah.
99 times out of 100, it's below that 9. So yeah, to avoid it that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, we thank you for joining us today. If you like what you've heard, please hit the like and subscribe button on this video. It helps us build our popularity in the algorithm, and we would love to do more of these for you. We'll be back soon with video number 2. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.